Hey, this is Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast. Had some issues with the camera. I did not realize there was a limit on the HD recording, so I had to switch the size. So yeah, let's not to say deja vu, but this is not the Matrix, so we'll try this again. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. The great Muta announced last month he was working with a major pro wrestling organization on July 30th. And on that day, ProWrestling.com spotted him at the TNA headquarters meeting with founder Jeff Jarrett. There was actually a picture of him outside the headquarters, which I thought they were kind of might have been rubbing that into Vince's nose there just a little bit, but anyway. But apparently Muta wants to work out an agreement with TNA and his promotion Wrestling One in Japan. This is something they've done before. So we'll be looking to see maybe some Japanese crossovers into TNA. So, you know. Randy Orton, as everybody knows, was attacked by a fan in Cape Town, Africa. The fan was arrested. Later on, he did admit that he was a independent wrestler. And which kind of, when I saw the video, I kind of wondered if he wasn't, because most people, when you hit somebody in the nads, you don't walk up to them and put your whole elbow up and then pull up. You know, that's just like they do it in the ring. So, but he said he wanted to make a name for himself. So, you know, he did. He got arrested, and I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure South Africa prisons are not as cozy as some of the ones they have over here. Matt Morgan announced via Twitter he will be working with Family Wrestling Entertainment on October the 12th in Brooklyn, New York. And former WWE wrestler Vladimir Kozlov was on the Roman show. He stated on that show that he has very fond memories of the Square Circle. And after leaving WWE, he worked in Japan and is now training in MMA. He was asked by one of the hosts, whoops, we're not having an earthquake, I bumped the table. Anyway, he was asked by one of the interviewers, basically, would you think he would ever, face Batista or anybody like that? Some of the other guys who've done MMA and have done all that. And he said they had a lot of stuff planned, but he didn't see that those matches would ever take place. So, it looks like he's going to be basically sticking to MMA. So, we're going to move on to Impact Wrestling, part of the show, and it was actually a pretty good show this week. You didn't see that much of the aces and eights. It was kind of spread out through the show, and I have a feeling they're going to see it in the ratings. So Bobby Roode basically was backstage talking to Austin Aries, and he told Austin that it pays to be rude, which I think Bobby Roode, I agree with Goldust that he would be one that would pretty much be able to work anywhere, and he proves that by defeating Hernandez with a beer bottle he had stuck up under the ring. So the referee just looked shocked. Well, how could that beer bottle get all over the ring? It was kind of funny, actually. Joseph Park defeats Jay Bradley with a Samoan drop, which was a good match, but the actual stuff between him and Eric Young was just funny. Eric Young said, "I've done a lot of research, I've done a lot of experience, I even fired off a rocket." Now that's funny. I don't care who you are, that's funny. But he come out, won. Of course, they put this thing on his head. He told me, he says, "You got to wear this." So they put this boxing protective helmet on his head, because they said, well, if you bleed, that's when you start showing out and you get disqualified. Well, needless to say, he won the match. So Chris Sabin and Manic put on a great match, but to be honest, it looked choreographed or practiced. It wasn't as good of a match as you would think. I mean, they did some pretty good stuff. You heard, a couple of "This is awesome," here, but to me, it looked more, it looked more practiced, like it was choreographed. And but Sabin defeated Manic with the cradle shock, so it was still a good match. They gave each guy proper respect. ODB returns to the ring to face Gail Kim, and the match ends with a double count out. It was good to see the ODB in the ring. It was good that they had her up against a good opponent. And, I swear to God, I don't know what that is, but I wish it'd go away. Anyway, but it was an awesome match. I think that, it ended in a double count out, but still, you can tell there's still some heat there, so it looks like we may see who Gail Kim's next person she's going to go after. So, match of the night, hands down, has to be, Austin Aries versus AJ Styles. They put on a clinic. They really did. There was moves, I hadn't seen in ages, and the match really did good. Everybody was kind of upset about the ending, but we've seen it before, so that was something right out of history. So Austin Aries, lays down and raises one shoulder up just enough, but his arm's still laying over AJ, and gets the win. Of course, Main Event Mafia comes down after this match, and Aces and Eights. It's announced that they're going to face each other at Hardcore Justice, which will be on live TV on Spike. And whoever's pinned leaves TNA, and I'm just wondering who's wanting out of their contract now, or who do they want to get rid of. And I hate to say this, but I know Sting says that he doesn't want to leave TNA, but hey, Sting, if you're listening, now's the time. Just take the fall and go to WWE. Okay, move on. And of course, at the end of this thing, music plays and Tito Ortiz walks out to be revealed as the August 1 warning guy. And, if you're an MMA fan, that's cool. But a lot of wrestling fans are like, isn't this a wrestling company? And our big question this week is Tito Ortiz, just another MMA guy who you won't see wrestling? You've seen him, the Main Event Mafia's big hitter is yet to be in the ring yet, except for a couple of run-ins, and so I don't know if TNA's just kind of tied all their stuff up in this Bellator deal. We wish there was some way they could tell us, hey, Bellator's actually assisting with the salaries. We're not actually paying as much, and it might make people that are fussing and griping about, the Sorensen thing, might make them think, okay, well, they're not losing any money because these MMA guys are there, so that's okay. But it's terrible that they got rid of these people, especially Sorensen, especially if Dixie Carter actually promised him told him he would always have a job. But I think if the MMA guys are going to be there, I think they need to wrestle. If not, don't let your butt hit you. Don't let the door hit you on the ass when you leave. It's simple as that. But overall, I'd say 6 out of 10. Maybe I might shoot them up to a 7. SmackDown, Alberto Del Rio tries to pick Ricardo Rodriguez as his number 1 contender when Vicky Guerrero gives him the same opportunity John Cena was allowed by the Raw general manager and whatever his name. And Vicky nicks that, and she set up the RVD Orton Christian 3-way for the number 1 contender. Rhodes defeated Jack Swagger. I think it's wise that they're pushing Rhodes. Cody's always been kind of a straight arrow, kind of sticking to doing what he's supposed to do. He doesn't go out and get caught and busted with marijuana in the car or other things. And just in case Swagger wants to point, well, Ricardo got in trouble too. Yeah, but Ricardo got in trouble for using some kind of fat burner. Now, I don't know what was in it that violated and this is not official, they have never really talked about it, but there was something in the fat burner or something that violated the wellness code. I mean, he wasn't sitting there smoking a joint or taking some stuff he wasn't supposed to have in the first place, as far as like synthetic marinol, which is synthetic marijuana, or a form of it. And so I think it's wise that they're pushing Cody Rhodes. I wouldn't be surprised in the next year and a half you see him holding either the world or the WWE title. Big E versus Sin Cara, and I don't know why WWE continues to do these ego matches. It's supposed to make the guy look better, and having Sin Cara have the hell beat out of him by Big E does not make Big E look good. Okay? Y'all need to wake up. Put him against somebody that's actually halfway decent, and then we'll think he's a pretty good guy. Seth, stop. If you're going to do that, go in your room. Seth says hello, everybody. He said, I have to get my 2 cents in. And here's another thing that'll make Big E look better. Buy him some more damn clothes. I'm tired of seeing ass and nuts. Okay? Get him some more clothes. You have the biggest athlete in the world, the Big Show. And Big Show don't be showing nothing. He comes out, he wrestles. Why can't you do that to Big E? I mean, it's bad enough that all the women in the back is kind of upset because his boobs are bigger than theirs. I know, the guy works out, okay? He's got big pecs, but, that's not what they look like in that kind of outfit. If he's going to come out and he's going to take the straps down, well, he needs to have a one-strapper, but he needs to have it come down to his knees. It's not good, people. I'm tired of seeing the blue moon or the dark moon over WWE, because every time he gets up, that stuff's right up in his butt, and I expect him to throw some rice and start doing some sumo, which might actually be pretally cool because I've actually watched sumo wrestling before. But anyway, I mean, seriously, get the guy some, it's obviously he's a great talent. It's obviously he's got skills. Okay? So treat him with respect. Get him some clothes that fit. You can tell he's uncomfortable. You can tell he has to roll out of the ring sometimes just so he can lay down on the floor and reach down and pull the stuff out of his ass. It's simple as that. Okay, moving on. Okay, I've been down on Fandango. Okay, I've been watching Totally Divas. Oh, excuse me, the Bella Show. Oh, that's right, it is Totally Divas. And it still seems like the Bella Show, which WWE, that doesn't equal ratings because there's a lot of people that don't like the Bellas. Anyway, but I kind of got a respect for Fandango after watching the last show because basically he does actually dance. Apparently he does know what he's doing, which makes it more real, makes it more believable. And he does take his character very seriously, which kind of reminds me of the Disco Inferno because I've seen interviews with him that, he actually really took that character seriously. He wanted to act the way that character was supposed to act at all times. And that's what made him a good, because he didn't just look like some guy that walked out and wrestled. He could actually wrestle. So, got a little more respect. He takes on CM Punk, and, CM Punk pretty much gets the win with the Anaconda Vice. And, it was good. It was a pretty good match. Both guys got some good, back and forth, activity. So, it was a decent. Everybody was, putting their respects. Layla turns on Caitlyn, stopping her from hitting AJ with a spear, allowing AJ to retain the Divas title. And to be honest, this storyline needed this. It really did. It needed something else. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. Had a great triple threat for the main event with Christian, RVD, and Orton. That's 3 former world champions. Christian, ended up blocking Orton's second RVD. He done hit the RKO on RVD, and he was fixing to hit him, but he blocked it. Christian blocked it, and basically took the win. Of course, Alberto Del Rio jumps in, right at the same, and basically jumps on him. So it was a pretty good show. Didn't have but a couple of low points, but ROH news. I'll be honest, I haven't watched ROH but one time before, and it was because Ric Flair was on there, and because I was not doing the show at the time, and it's like walking in the middle of a new movie. It just seemed like I can't get into it. Well, when I started doing this show, I was doing ROH news, but I wasn't. I was just doing headlines, and I said, well, I need to start watching the show. And I watched it, and it kind of reminded of me of watching what I saw at Great Lakes Championship Wrestling with David Hero. The moves in the ring were crisp. They were doing stuff you don't see in other things. I kind of got into the show, and it's actually pretty good. I have to get it. Okay, and they're having a tournament right now. As you know, the Briscoes are gone. They're saying he's hurt, but I heard they're going somewhere else. But anyway, I think Eglin is probably going to end up being your winner. And Ciampa defeated Silas Young to advance, and BJ Whitner actually suffered a pretty bad injury after a pile driver mistake on the ring apron, and so we wish him well. We are hearing that he is doing okay, but Strong defeated Taven, and Eglin went on to beat London. And this is covering actually 2 shows. One it wasn't actually on TV; it was on just at another. The one I watched, the Forever Hooligans got back the ROH tag titles, basically from the Red Dragons, and then on this show, again, the American Wolves defeated the Forever Hooligans for the ROH titles to be, I think, the 39th ROH title holders, only a week after the Hooligans obtained the titles on that program. So it was pretty good. There was some fancy stuff going on in the matches, and I didn't watch it before. They say that's it's gotten better. So I'll keep watching, keep letting you know how good it is. It can be seen on Channel 8 here in Wisconsin. Pretty much here in Janesville anyway. Channel 8, it comes on at I think like 11, 12 o'clock. So yeah, I record it though. If I don't get to watch it live. All right, Raw. Raw is actually really decent. Daniel Bryan is induced by Stephanie McMahon with his new corporate makeover, which basically consisted of a suit and shoes that didn't match, that Vince kind of brings out later. And his hair was all slicked back. We've seen that before. He comes out. The fans don't like it. And then he basically uses the wrestler, the word wrestler. He does not call himself a entertainer. He calls himself a wrestler. And needless to say, claims he's going to make Cena tap out. Of course, cue the boss. No chance hit. Here comes Vince McMahon. Vince says the beard must go, or he's going to make sure that Daniel Bryan does not become the WWE champion. Wade Barrett is brought to cut the beard off. Bryan basically attacks Barrett and basically shaves part of his beard. So I thought it was kind of funny, actually. Del Rio and the returning Ricardo Rodriguez goes out to face RVD in a redemption match from SmackDown. And we talked about this earlier. It's funny how Ricardo had a big injury from that wellness violation, but I can say at least he was apparently doing some sort of weight loss pill or something like that. Mary Jane. Anyway, Ricardo gets attacked afterwards because Del Rio apparently thought that Ricardo caused something, and Ricardo sells the attack really good. And WWE and I tweeted this. It's time for the Chimera to show up. It would be perfect timing. I know he got in trouble and all that, but it's perfect timing. It's time to bring the Chimera back out, and if you don't know who that is, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to look it up. Cody Rhodes brings Sandow the recovered Money in the Bank case. That was a funny little scene. They opened it up. The contract was all nasty, and Cody brought it out, and it just collapsed in his hand. Kind of wonder if it actually wasn't in the Gulf. We know one of them was anyway. And he cons Sandow into the ring. Sandow pretty much gets beat on a couple of minutes, and then he leaves. It's really funny. It's going to be a great feud. It really is. And speaking of Sandow, if you were to stand Daniel Bryan up and put him on a box to match Sandow's height and dye his beard black, with his hair back, he looks just like Sandow. I'm sorry, he really does. Okay, moving right along. Mark Henry versus Ryback. Basically, two big bulls in a china shop. Of course, Ryback chickens out after Mark Henry pretty much shows him up. Mark Henry looking pretty good, and Ryback just basically went, I don't have to do this. Took off. Pretty much not surprised there. Sorry. Pollen is just eating up my throat. Anyway, but I wish they would have let him wrestle a little more. The Bellas start being Bellas and kind of picking on Natalia, or Natty as she likes to be called, and Natty basically reaches out and borrows some Pentecostal stuff and lays the hands on Nikki across the face. Because they said, she said something about it was like a slap in the face, her even being on the show, and Natty said, no, Nikki, this is a slap in the face. And she knocked the dog spit out of Nikki's mouth. And then of course Cena comes out. Well, he's doing a promo, talking about hard times, and of course most of the people in the audience heard was blah 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 blah, because that's the way they were acting. You would have thought he walked out there like Charlie Brown's parents. And somebody had even said on Twitter he needs to go back to the Thugonomics years, And there was actually a chant during Cena's promo. Boring, boring, boring chants. And Orton comes out, basically tells Cena, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Of course, they're interrupted by the Shield. And Brian comes out to help them. Of course, Maddox comes out and makes a 6-man tag match, and I was sitting here screaming, going, oh no, Teddy Long has found a Maddox suit and put it on and come out and made a tag match. I really wanted to say it. I wish I could have said it on TV. That would have been really funny. But anyway, Layla defeats Caitlyn after AJ Lee comes out, and they kind of skipped out together, and I kind of thought about this. She said something on her Instagram about trying to get Cool back, and what I'm wondering is if she and her and AJ aren't going to team up to be the new Le Cool. I don't know. Hey, you could do like TNA and steal some of their stuff. They always steal WWE stuff and just call yourself the beautiful people. But anyway, that was wrong. Christian versus Slater, and why don't they use some of the members of 3MB? I mean, you've got people like McIntyre, and hell, I would even be happy seeing Jinder Mahal, and even Slater has kind of showed me that he can actually, showed a little more interest. Christian hits an awesome spear for the win, and then CM Punk comes out. We're having CM Punk versus Axel. Of course, CM Punk goes after Heyman before Axel even gets to the ring, and Axel gets the upper hand. Punk begins to work on the leg of Axel. And, of course, he tries to go after Heyman, and that's when, after he gets Heyman in the ring and fixing to pretty much hurt him, Lesnar comes out, and somebody actually said on Twitter, said, look, he's hurting my friend, but I'm going to sit up here and do my jumping around thing for a minute before I go down and help him. It was actually, he put Lesnar down a couple of times. He caught Lesnar off guard, and, he even tries to attack him with a chair, but, and of course at the end they let Lesnar, get the upper hand, and somebody else mentioned this on Twitter. Lesnar had got in there. He was in the ring 10 minutes, like maybe 5 minutes, and his face is all red except for around his eyes. And I'm like, I'm expecting him to fall out and have a stroke. I'm like, how's he going to wrestle a 10 to 15, 20 minute match? And then he tells Paul Heyman, after he says something already that I still don't understand. He tells Paul Heyman to say something stupid. I hate to tell you, Lesnar, but that's usually your job. That's why Heyman is with you, because you cannot talk. I'm actually surprised they gave you a mic this time. Somebody's going to get in trouble. Okay, Kofi returns and defeats Fandango. Kofi has new ring attire. He's actually wearing pants now. So that's just kind of cool. He looked pretty. It was good to see Kofi back. Usos take on We the People. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Real Americans. Zeb Coulter looks like an overly tall Oompa Loompa. Sorry. I just made some notes and just happened to saw that. The Americans win, and Zeb Coulter kind of gets booed when he starts talking about the Packers and mentioning cheese. That was a low blow, man. You don't talk about the Packers and you don't talk about cheese. Anyway. Big E versus Ziggler, with Ziggler losing to Big E after Caitlyn and AJ kind of distract off Ziggler, allowing Big E to win. Brian Orton Cena versus The Shield. It says The Shield is DQ'd, and I'm like a lot of people on Twitter, I didn't really see where they got DQ'd. The referee, I don't know. I guess it was part of I guess they were maybe learning a long time. And then it looks like Orton's going to cash in his Money in the Bank after he pretty much RKO's Daniel Bryan and then Cena. But basically the Shield comes back out, runs everybody out of the ring except for Bryan, and power bombs him. Does the trifecta power bomb, whatever we call it. And, but that's pretty much the show notes. We're going to move on to our sponsors now. Zach Pack Promotions, that is at Zach Pack Promotions on Twitter. And then you can look up Zach, it's at ZPack Promotions on Twitter, and Zach Pack Promotions on Facebook. You can also go to their webpage, that's www.zachpackpromotions.com. And if you're interested in information on the Busting for Autism that's going to take place November 16th and the 17th around Katy, Texas at the VFW, you can go to the same ZachPackPromotions.com/Busting for Autism, and that's BUSTIN for autism. There's going to be a lot of people there. I mean, she's got a list a mile long. People's going to be there. It's going to be great. You can actually purchase a ticket to actually have lunch with some of your favorite stars that are there. Now, I know Dustin Rhodes is filled up, and Hacksaw's got I just saw one a while ago. She's got Hacksaw Juggins has got two spots open, and but everybody else is open. You can actually sit down and have lunch with these people and actually talk to them. So that's kind of cool. Snitzy's going to be there. Honky Tonk Man, yeah. I mean, there's tons of people that's going to be there. Now, let's see. All right, this is something Goldust put on Twitter. He has promoters want me for my Taking Care of Business World Tour 2014. Contact Zach Pack Promotions. Contact Zach at Zach Pack Promotions. Basically, what he's doing is going to Taking Care of Business Tour. For info, you can contact ZachPackPromotions@gmail.com. Basically, he's going to go around. He's looking to do 50 to 75 either matches or whatever, signings or appearances, basically. And he's dedicating it to his dad. So, that's kind of cool. Also, just to let you know that right now, Mayhem News, that's mayhem-news.com, is actually down right now. We are moving to another server. We're moving to another server, and we had to move it to another, move it away from WordPress and then move it to something else. So is Fighting Disability Slurs.wordpress.com is down. It's being moved as well. And Mayhem News Live.wordpress.com is actually being moved. And they should come up as a .com site when they're reopened. So we will be letting you know exactly what those addresses are when they come up. It should take about 6 days, maybe 7, for that to be complete. So we're not posting anything now. The show will actually just be on our Google page, our Yahoo page, and Facebook. I mean, not Yahoo. Where Yahoo come from? Anyway, my Google Plus page. Anyway, so that's basically how it's gonna go until they can get that stuff completely moved. And I just want to tell you that now, not only is Mayhem News Live being sponsored by Zach Pack Promotions, Mayhem News, our news webpage, basically our article page, is actually being sponsored by them as well. So I want to thank Zach and all of them over there for, I really appreciate it. But like I said, you can still find Fighting Disability Slurs on Facebook. She's got more likes than me. Anyway, moving right on. Hint, hint. And if you want to find Mayhem News Live on Facebook, it's just at Mayhem News Live with capitals in the first letter of each word. Yeah. Throttle. I want to thank Throttle for the song that you heard at the first of the show. That is New Blood by Throttle. They are sponsoring us with the theme song for this show. I appreciate it. All their stuff, singles and albums, can be found on iTunes. They do have a new album coming out called Razor Wire Finish Line. As soon as we get more information, as soon as I can get contacted with the band and find out when that stuff does come out, we are going to be doing some stuff for that. So keep posted, okay? I was going to try to have a computer in September, but hey, I'm not Vince McMahon, and going to postpone it. I got a brand new phone. I got to do some stuff right now. Miss Stacy Lynn has been having some, just keep her in your prayers. And she's been having some health stuff going on. So it's just going to be me for right now anyway. So, but once I can get a computer, we'll get back on the air live, and everybody will be able to see us on Google Hangouts. Let's see. Anything else I need to cover? Everything looks good. I appreciate all of it. We're over 800 views so far. I should be back Saturday. We moved it to Saturday because, I wanted to arrange it around some of the shows. So, hopefully we shouldn't be busy this weekend, so I should be able to do another show. But we're here every Tuesday. I post the show by 5 o'clock until we go back live, and then it actually goes live at 5. But I appreciate everyone's there. If you want to follow us on Twitter, that's at Mayhem News Live on Twitter. You can also follow at Mayhem News, our other site. Anytime anybody posts it there, it'll be posted. But they're not posting anything right now because the site is down. Just remember, the site is down. If you want to follow me, that is I am TMIBLIBES. You can also follow Stacy Lynn 89. Our other co-host, my co-host, and just kind of keep her in your prayers. And I really appreciate some of the things we've been going through and doing. Show's doing pretty good. I'm kind of proud of it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to let Throttle take us out. And this has been Mayhem News Live. This has been the edition, and I appreciate it. And have a nice day.